Hi, in this video we'll be showing you how to assemble this dining table. Before we get started, here's a few things to keep in mind. Make sure you have a Phillips head screwdriver and a hammer. Assembly time should take 45 minutes or less with 2 people and a little bit longer with 1. And just make sure all the pieces are facing the right ways you're putting it together and you'll do great. In this video, we're going to focus on the trickier parts and go quickly through the easier steps. So make sure you pause the video and complete all the steps as we go. With that said, let's get into it. In step 1, we'll be putting dowels into pieces 1 and both of pieces 8. And for this, we'll be using our longer dowels. And then next in step 2, we'll be putting our shorter dowels into both of pieces 3 and 4. Okay, and then we're good to move on. In step 3, we'll be attaching pieces 4 to piece 5. So we'll start with piece 5 facing up so that these grooves are facing upwards. And then we'll take pieces 4 and we'll put these on so that this opening faces down. And these dowels are going to be facing towards the outside edges like this. We'll secure those in place with 2 screws. Okay, and then we're good to move on. In step 4, we'll be attaching pieces 3 to pieces 6 and 7. Now with these, you'll want to put them together so that these bottom 2 holes are going into the piece here, into these 2 holes, and these dowels will be facing out towards the outer edge. So it should go just like this. And then we'll put in 2 screws to hold that in place. And then we'll do the same thing again on the other piece, just mirrored. So it'll still be these bottom 2 dowels, and then these dowels will be facing out towards the edge. Next, we can move on to step 5, and we'll be attaching this to the center beam we did previously. So we'll put piece 6 on this side, 7 over here, so that they're facing inwards the same way, and these blocks are on the same sides. And then we'll stand up this piece so that these screws are facing outwards towards the edge. And we'll line up these 2 bottom dowels with our piece. We'll secure that with 2 more screws. Once we have those together, then we can move on to step 6 and we'll attach the other side of our legs. And with these, we'll want to attach these so that they're next to the opposite side. So if this is piece 7, we'll put piece 6 on top. We'll line that up with our dowels on both sides. And then we'll put in 4 screws. And then on the other side, because this is piece 6, we'll put piece 7 on top. And then we'll screw this side in as well. Okay, once those are secured, then we'll move on to step 7 and we'll be attaching pieces 8 to this side. So we'll be attaching pieces 8 so that this circular hole is facing inwards towards the table. And this dowel will be going into the hole that doesn't go all the way through, so we can put the bolt through the other side. And in this step, we'll be inserting these nuts so that this little part that sticks out will be going into the hole so that our bolt can screw right into it. So we'll line that up, make sure it's snug. And then we'll insert our bolt. We'll leave those a little loose until we get the other piece on as well. So then with this piece, we'll make sure that these circles are going to be facing down now so they're towards the inside of the table. Once again, make sure to put the dowels into the hole that doesn't go all the way through. Once we have all 4 bolts partially in, then we can tighten them completely. Okay, and then we're good to move on. In step 8, we'll be putting together both sides of our table. So we just want to make sure that they're facing the right way so that this edge goes all the way around. And then we'll line it up so that the dowels go into the holes. Once those are completely flush, we'll move on to step 9 and we'll secure those with our bolts. And we'll put our bolts in through the side that has piece 1 on it. And then we'll put our washer on the other side and we'll secure that with our wing nut. And we'll do the same thing for our other 3 holes. All right, once we have those secured, then we can move on to step 10 and we'll attach our legs to the bottom of our piece. So we'll attach our legs with this cross beam on the top side, which will eventually be the bottom. And then we'll line up our dowels with the holes in the middle of the table. Once that's flush against our table, then we'll secure it with 4 screws along these black beams here. Okay, next we can move on to step 11 and we'll be putting screws into these holes here on each side. We'll also be attaching our feet. So we'll attach our feet near the edge onto our long horizontal pieces. We'll hammer those into place. Just make sure they're in about the same spot on both sides. Okay, once we have those secured, then we'll flip our table over and we're all done. We hope this video was helpful for you in assembling your new dining table. For more guides, tips, and tricks, head on over to walkeredison.com.